Welcome to E3 Special Edition of New Gameplay Today. I'm not Jeff Cork, and Leo Vader isn't here either. I have Imran Khan.
Howdy, howdy.
And so what this is, Imran, this is Adventure Time, Pirates of the Enchiridion, and it comes out July 17th on pretty much everything, Xbox One, PS4, Switch. And you know, we don't usually cover like Adventure Time games. There's a lot that come out, but this one was interesting to me because it's open world.
Yeah, most of these games are generally, you know, dungeon crawlers or platformers, adventure games in general. I've never seen one, especially a licensed game, that's so open world, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I like it, that. A big part of Adventure Time is like how weird I guess it's the land of Ooh is. I mean, you're the super fan, right?
I've seen one season, remember, not of it.
What?
But
you betrayed me.
I am going to go ahead and agree with you.
Okay, that sounds good. I've watched a fair bit of Adventure Time, but just kind of smatterings here and there. But I believe it's the land of Ooh, and it's a really cool world that does seem like good fodder for like exploring in a video game. And the idea is the Ice King has oh gosh, that's actually a spoiler. I wasn't supposed to reveal that yet. You'll find that out soon enough by watching this. But the Ice King has like melted the Ice Kingdom, and it actually floods Ooh. So you are in a boat and you kind of roll around and, you know, go on adventures and stuff like that.
Kyle, can I stop you there? Is this Wind Waker?
They did say the word Wind Waker while it was being demoed. I don't think this, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is not Wind Waker. I mean, it is cel shaded and it does take place in a flooded world. Hold on
and your compatriot is a lion-like animal?
Oh my gosh, who could change into a boat, technically, I suppose?
Yeah.
There's a lot of, there are lines to be drawn to Wind Waker, and that's a great comparison for like a kid's game based on a cartoon show. It's also quickly worth mentioning that this is like an early build of the game, so I think that they said like there were some sound effects and stuff missing of this session that we captured. So just heads up, you know, be a little more cleaned up in the final version in July.
So what exactly is going on here? Like, they're in boats, like the Ice King has melted the kingdom. They're, I guess, living in an Ark-like situation now. What next?
So I guess they fell asleep on a boat and then they woke up and the world was flooded. And then there just so happened to be this boat here, and there's a good joke about hoping that the boat gives a tutorial on how to use it because it's just a random boat that they found. You know, video game humor. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about, right? So this is like, now you're kind of in the open world. They said the first sort of like, you know, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of the game are pretty linear. Like you have a goal that you have to go get to figure out what's going on. But then after that, it opens up in a pretty big way. You know, you have your main missions, but there are side quests and stuff like that. I don't know if Jake does it here, but he can grab stuff out of the water, kind of like the hook, like that. Okay, like he kind of like the way... you know, Link can use the hook in Wind Waker. I think that's when the developers were specifically referencing Wind Waker, was like grabbing stuff out of the water like that. Like he's grabbing a bottle right there.
That's when they went, okay, we know what you're thinking?
Yeah, a good, 4 minutes into this thing, they were like, I know you're thinking Wind Waker, and let me tell you, that's a good thing to think about.
I actually really like the distance art, because it looks like just hand-drawn art up until when you start getting closer to it.
Yeah.
It starts looking like, in-game graphics.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. It looks cool, and like I said, the world has always been kind of a cool part of that whole show. Mm-hmm. So the opportunity to explore it in an open world setting, I think, is smart. I imagine it's probably hard to make, but it was a smart move. And actually, so we'll see it a little bit later. But one thing that surprised me is the combat is actually turn-based.
No, okay.
I assumed it was just like an action game, like you would just be hitting stuff with your sword.
Like Wind Waker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jake. Wait, which one's? Jake is the dog and Finn is the human, right?
Yes.
Jake's the dog, Finn the human. I mean, Finn carries a sword around with him all the time, so I assumed I would be using it to hit stuff. But it's the combat's actually turn-based.
So, like, I guess does it show in? Or we're gonna see it in a second, because I'm curious. Like, does it go Final Fantasy? Spinning the screen up into a random battle? No,
you'll see later. Actually, like the one point that we saw combat is actually when you're on your ship and you get attacked by like another ship. So I don't know. I actually don't know if you'll be like fighting people as you're walking around, because like he's using his sword there to like break stuff and collect. They're British developers, so they called it Dosh, which is money.
Okay.
You ever heard that, Dosh?
I lived in England and I don't know that I've heard that.
You lived in England?
Yes.
When was that?
college.
Oh,
Yeah.
Congratulations. That sounds like a good time.
But basically what I'm saying is they're liars.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Maybe Dosh is the name of the currency in the game, and I'm just stupid. I thought it was just like...
Either way, we're gonna have people correcting us, so...
Wait, well, who would correct us? I don't know how that would happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can turn Jake into a motorcycle, so that's fun, right? You're having fun right now, right, Imran?
I'm having a lot of fun.
Okay, and then you can swap back and forth between Jake and Finn.
Does Jake actually do anything?
I think he uses his, like, he can morph and do different things, and, you know...
Okay, that's just Wind Waker.
That's... Look, it's a good game for them to pull from.
I'm just saying, like... That is like straight up. They didn't have to have him carry it over the head.
Well, I guess there's a mission where you have to like deliver penguins, and you can put them all on your boat and carry them around.
That's also Mario 64.
And I guess all the penguins are voiced by the devs, which is kind of fun. But otherwise, they have the normal voice cast from Adventure Time.
Okay.
So all the same people. And then this is there's a lot of stuff happening in this game. So you got open world, you have turn-based RPG, and then what we're about to see a little bit of is like this interrogation system. Which goes like full LA noir.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, doubt, lie.
Yeah, you basically play like good cop, bad cop between you and Jake, or depending on who you're playing as, because you can switch back and forth. To get to, like, that's how you learn about what's going on in the story and stuff like that.
So is asking you to save the kingdom? Or...
Well, yeah, you're trying to freeze the Ice Kingdom, because that's how it will fix the flooding.
Okay.
That's how nature works, right?
Yeah, you're making Ice Kingdom great again.
There we go. That's, yes, a strong political message in this game, environmentalism, as well as, you know, what's going on with our president. I think that's really what they're going for in the children's game, Adventure Time. The interrogation time. They're really excited about it.
I'm actually excited to see what this is.
Well, sit tight.
Okay, so far so good.
What happened here?
I'm feeling this.
Is this the kind of stuff you're into? Like this?
Like this reminds me just off the bat of like a weird Phoenix Wright type thing.
Yeah. So what you'll see, you actually have it's weird. You have actually like you'll see in the corner like a little this like rotating thing. I actually jumped forward a little bit, but you actually pick like good cop, bad cop responses, and you can be successful, you can fail, but apparently if you fail, you can still move forward. But like maybe the game will be a little harder.
Okay.
Like if you successfully interrogate the Ice King, maybe you don't encounter as many enemies as you're traveling. But if you fail, there'll be like a lot more, or something like that. Like that was just one example that they gave me. And you go back and forth. So Jake started, or rather Finn started, and now it's Jake's turn to ask questions.
Were they actually like picking the thing, or was it like
it's my fault.
It was just spinning and you landed on a certain one?
I tried to refreeze
because basically,
another wall melted.
It's a little weird, but like you pick, like it's going slow enough where it's not like a timed mini game or something like that. Like it's just, I guess it's just like a fun way of letting you. See, I guess it speeds up a little bit, so maybe you can make a mistake that way, but it's just like, as opposed to just having a menu option, it just makes it a little more interesting, maybe?
Yeah. Not like Wind Waker.
This is not in Wind Waker. I don't think you had to convince people to...
Man, how good would that would have been, though.
You need interrogation and
like that guy with the holding the the special thing, the bird kid. Instead of like doing the thing he wanted, just interrogate him until he does what you want.
That would have been a better game. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry
to have doubted you.
Something happened to my crown.
So I think we'll do a little bit more
freezing,
interrogation, then we'll actually get a look at the combat.
I melted my whole kingdom. I melted it. I was so annoyed.
And then I guess so what you're doing is I guess the Ice King like
maybe a bad move.
I don't know. It's like his helmet, his crown melted the Ice Kingdom, so you need to retrieve it to refreeze everything or something. I'm not entirely sure, but you got some money there and you got some hearts.
I'm not up on Adventure Time lore. Does he have a robot arm?
Yeah, I think he lost his arm at one point.
That's dark.
They keep it pretty consistent, you know what I mean? Like things that happen in one episode maintain through the rest of the show and the follow-up game and in the games and stuff like that.
Figure out what's wrong with it and fix it.
So
you
I
can start
did a
refreezing
news story on
the
this
Ice
when it was first announced. I recall there being Marceline in the game. Did they say anything about that?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. So it is actually 4 characters that you play as. Like, you just start here with Jake and Finn.
You want to kick it at the beach.
But, yeah, Marceline.
Oh, all right.
And then, and Bimo. So you'll be able to actually switch between those 4 characters. And then, for example, like, Jake the dog can turn into, like, a moped. Like, all 3 of you will, like, ride Jake around in those sequences. And then everyone has different abilities and you can switch and stuff like that.
Okay, that makes...
I figured you might need it.
Not like Wind Waker again. This is coming up above Wind Waker.
Thanks, man.
In a lot of respects.
Time to set
on paper, I guess.
Yes. I mean, we'll have to wait for the actual game to come out to like do the real science.
Yeah. We'll get Leo on that.
Yeah.
We'll
need that whiteboard.
Yeah.
Well, that thing isn't like
yeah, I'm intrigued by this one. I think I played one of those like a point and click Adventure Time game, which was kind of fun because it had all the the voice actors and stuff, and it did a good job representing that universe, and that universe like is a fan of video games, if that makes sense. Like most Cartoon Network shows have a lot of video game references and stuff like that lately. But I like this direction for Adventure Time. I like the idea of exploring an open world of And here, we gotta look at the map. Here, there's a little bit of fog of war, but it's pretty substantial.
Yeah.
Like, because there's more down below. I think we scroll down here in just a second.
This game, or this series in general, this IP, has a lot of really cool world building, and I think that's why it attracted people to it in the first place. So it's interesting to, it's nice to be able to go through the actual world and explore it at your own pace.
Yeah, I was like familiar with Adventure Time, but then my sister told me that it's like a post-apocalypse.
Yeah.
Finn is the last human. That's crazy. Like, I had no idea that it was. I thought it was just like super fun time. I had no idea there was like this lore about the destruction of the world behind it. And then I'd watch episodes where they'd actually look at the past and see like the Ice King like as a normal person. It blew my mind. I was like, I had no idea that there was this much going on in this show.
He becomes obsessed with princesses because of something that happened with his like dying wife or something. I might be getting him confused with Mr. Frost or Mr. Freeze, but
how could you confuse those two fictional characters?
But I feel like that's kind of right. So this is the combat.
Yeah, so we'll take a look at the combat and then we'll close it out. This was another thing that kind of took me by surprise. I really thought this would just be an action beat 'em up, but I guess when you encounter, and everyone's gone pirate crazy apparently. So when you encounter people out on the ocean, you actually select attacks and you have to do fights. And they said they want to keep it like quick. I know this doesn't appear quick right now because we're just sitting on a one selection, but the idea is like one thing that they did is like you can do an attack and use an item in one turn, which is like kind of atypical for most RPGs. Like I don't know, I guess it depends. Like, but that was just like a small example of like they want to keep the sort of turn-based combat quick and breezy and like get you in and out of fights quickly,
right?
Because it is for younger players after all.
I'm very curious if like ship combat or ship-to-ship combat is the only place random battles happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't ask them that question. Imran, you should have been there with me to ask these important questions.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
I would have just kept saying Wind Waker over and over, and then and this happened probably Skies of Arcadia.
And devs love that. You just say, this game you made is just a different game.
Like,
that has already been made. Why
let me describe the thing that was probably under design doc.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so that is Adventure Time. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Pirates of the Enchiridion. And it comes out July 17th.
Is that because they look like enchiladas?
Yes, sure. I think so. Those are like bananas, actually.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Then I'm completely wrong.
I guess it's supposed to be like Caribbean, but Enchiridion? Enchiridion?
So they should have a great first game, and then it's terrible everything else.
Yeah, sure. But anyway, all right. Thanks for watching. This game looks alright.
Uh-oh.
Bye.
This looks bad.